Hey there, how there, ho there. It's Jeff Cotodami welcoming you to yet another Stone Cold Hockey season. We are doing a new season. It's the 2005-2006 season. The reason why we're doing this season, well, is because of we did the 65 Leafs, the 68 Blues, the 71 Canadiens, the 75 Flyers, the 79 Bruins, the 82 Islanders, the 84 Oilers, the 91 Penguins, the 92 Blackhawks, and the 94 Rangers. Trying to see if I could capture lightning in a bottle, which I've only done a few times. But the fact of the matter is, the 2006 season is next on the board. I have all 16 seasons Stone Cold has released. All of them. I haven't missed one season. So the 05-06 season is there. It's the biggest gap, actually, between seasons in Stone Cold. There's two from the 60s, three from the 70s, two from the 80s, three from the 90s, only one from the 2000s and the 2010s, and then four in the last four seasons in the 2020s. So yeah, 94 Rangers and then '06 Buffalo. I really wish that they did like 99 with Gretzky's final season or something like that. Of course, we did '06. Now, 2006 is big because now everything's changed from 94 to 2006. For instance, there are six divisions and two conferences and five teams per division, so 30 teams instead of the 24 we saw. The Devils, Flyers, Islanders, Rangers, and Penguins are in the Atlantic Division. The Northeast has Montreal, Toronto, Buffalo, Boston, and Ottawa. While the Southeast has Atlanta, Washington, Florida, Carolina, and Tampa. Of course, the big changes from 90, well, when we from 93, 94, kind of, is that Atlanta has a team. The Thrashers were born in 1999. And was this the year they won the division? I think so. Yes, 2006. Or was it the Rangers? No, 2007, I think. But anyway, yeah, Atlanta, Florida, of course. You know, Carolina picked up from Hartford, so Hartford goes to Carolina and Tampa Bay. The Central Division, Columbus, a new B team from 2000, Chicago, Nashville, a new B team from 98, St. Louis and Detroit. The Northwest, Calgary, Vancouver, Minnesota, the Wild, team from 2000. Colorado, a team from Quebec, Henry, Colorado, and Edmonton. The Pacific, LA, Phoenix. Well, the Jets turned the Coyotes, San Jose, Dallas, and the Anaheim Mighty Ducks. So anyway, got all that. So you'll see wins, losses, but you see a not ties, but overtime losses. This is the era 05-06. This was actually the season after the whole debacle that killed the 2004-2005 NHL season, in which it's the only season in Big Four baseball, basketball, football, hockey ever to be canceled. All of it to be canceled. COVID didn't even cancel a full season of the four major sports. Baseball started in July 2020 in the States. Basketball had like the COVID participation at the Bi World Sports in Florida for the 1920 season, and then 2021 they started. Hockey, same thing. They had bubbles in Edmonton and Toronto, and then they had four divisions, kind of geographical divisions, and then came and then football. Well, they had COVID stuff, but anyway. So this was the year that things changed. Obstruction penalties would be called more often. The center ice line, the red line was eliminated for the purposes of passing, so you could pass more than two lines, like a massive breakout pass. And the big point is overtime. If you're tied after overtime, there's no ties. There's a shootout. You get a point for losing in the shootout. So here's what will happen. And I picked Buffalo because of Buffalo's great offense and chance to be Stanley Cup champion, but ruined by Carolina. Nothing against Carolina; they're a fine organization, but I went with Buffalo. Besides, after all, Buffalo is being laughed at. All right, so we look at the schedule, and everyone played on opening day, October 5th, and every arena had thank you fans on there. So we host the New York Islanders in the first game. Well, anyway, that's auto play. Montreal beat Boston 6-3 as Cristobal Huey beat Tim Thomas, who was not in beast mode yet. Bulis, Kovalev, and Higgins scoring late for Montreal. Anaheim beat Chicago 5-2. Jay Shiger beat Craig Anderson. And all that. LA Dallas. Dallas won 4-1. Turco beats Matthew Garon, 3 goals in the third period. Madonna Maitinen. Detroit crushing St. Louis 7-2 as Manny Legacy beat Reinhard Davis. Detroit was up 6-1 at one point. Edmonton won in overtime on a goal by Marty Riesener. Kolsnick using Markkinen from Riesener from Smith and Stahl. They did not need to go to a shootout. Atlanta, Florida with a shutout. McLennan over Lantinen. Newendijk, Horton, Stewart, and Jelena. The goals. Calgary beat Minnesota 3-2 in overtime. Langtal from Phaneuf. As Kiprusoff beat Rollison. New Jersey beat Pittsburgh in overtime on a goal by Brian Gianta from Gomez and Martin over Marc-Andre Fleury as Marty Brodeur did it. And this was Crosby's first game as a Pittsburgh Penguin player. Nashville beat San Jose 3-2. Chris Mason, not Steve Mason, beat Festa Toscala. Philly shut out the Rangers as Lundqvist losing to Robert Ashe. Peter the Great with 2 goals for Philly and Simon Gagne. Tampa beat Carolina 3-1. Gerber losing the Graham. Boyle and Modini. Ottawa shut out Toronto 5-0 as Ed Belfour. Emery took down Belfour. Alberton, Healy, Redden, and Smirnitsky. Phoenix crushed Vancouver. Boucher beat Ouellette. And Boucher. And finally, Washington beat Columbus 6-3 as Kolstad beat Leclerc. This was Alex Ovechkin's first game. He didn't score a goal, but Washington scored 5 in the third. So we host the New York Islanders, our first game. And our first opponent, and Ryan Mela in net for Buffalo. Rick DiPietro, the big bust for the Islanders. DiPietro was a decent goalie, but he was too injury prone. So anyway, while we had 52 wins this season, I'm trying to help Buffalo win the Stanley Cup. Ryan Miller, pretty good goalie from Michigan State, U.S. star goalie. Marty Biron, number 43, who actually went to the Rangers and got embarrassed by Thomas Hertl and then retired. And Mika Nordin from Finland. So you had a U.S. goalie, a Canadian goalie, and a Finnish goalie. On the Islanders, Rick DiPietro, an American goalie himself, drafted first overall in the 2001 draft, which was weird. Or was it the 99 draft? Sorry, 2000 draft, sorry. Rick DiPietro. Garth Snow, who would later become the GM and beat Bumbling, and Wayne Dubelitz, a goalie of Polish descent, who Leaf fans hate to this day, especially yours truly, after 2007. Anyway, the Sabres, we had Chris Drury, who is a bonehead of a general manager in New York, as of right now. Alex Kotelik, Danny Briere, pretty good player. Danny Briere. Thomas Fennick, good guy from Austria. Maxim Afinogenov, roll the highlight reel. J.P. Dumont, great player. Derek Roy, Kitchener. And no, that's not why I picked the 2006 Sabres, because of Derek Roy from Kitchener Ranger. Jürgen Acht from Deutschland. And Americans and all that. Jason Pominville, the mayor of Pominville. Tim Connolly, Brian Campbell, crushing defenseman. Paul Gostad, Mike Greer. Henrik Tallender, Tyler Pyatt, Jay McKee, Roy Fitzpatrick, Temple Newman, the former Jets/Coyotes star defenseman, Dmitry Kalinin, Adam Mayer, Yaron Novotny, Tony Lemon, Dan Payet, and Nathan Patch. For the cupcakes, as I call them, you have Satan 81. And no, that's not part of a Bible verse, that's Satan. Alex Yashin, the bust from Ottawa, who basically held out for money and got sent to the Islanders for Jason Spezza. That trade actually worked out well for Ottawa. Jason Blake, who would go on to win a couple years later the Masterton for Perseverance because of him being some kind of cancer. Mark Parrish, Trent Hunter, Sean Bates, Mike York, Chris Campoli, holy moly, Chris Campoli, Aaron Asham, Goon, Ole Kavasha, Robert Nielsen, Alex Shitnick, former Sabre, Sean Bergenheim. Yeah, Satan for Sabre. Bruno Gervais, Brett Sopel, Jeff Hamilton, Eric Goddard, Radek Martinik, Brad Lukwich, Yanni Need for Dallas or Tampa, Yanni Niedema, good defenseman for the Oilers, Joel Bouchard, Jeff Timberlini, and Wyatt Smith. Here we go. First play, 5 minutes into the game. Final now. And they kill the zone. 4 minutes later. No. 2 minutes later. No. Second chance for on the skiers. Bruno Gervais from Shitnik. 1-0. Shitnik for Sabre trying to ruin us. 2 minutes later. They have a chance. No. 1 minute later. Chance for them. Then they score. Satan scores. Satan 81 from Kavasha. 2-0. Had this crazy dream that my grandma's neighbor, Linda Humphrey, came in and said that she found this shirt off of a youngster. It's a Satan 81. She's like, well, what does this 81 mean? 81. Is it a Bible verse? I don't know what it could mean. Psalm 81. And then I basically tell them, no, that's a Buffalo Sabre. That's so the hockey jersey is the Buffalo Sabres. And that's a player for the Buffalo Sabres, Miro Satan, number 81. They call it Satan, not Satan. Oh. And the buzzer sounds. Go for our first goal. Nuts. 2 minutes later. Damn it. 3 minutes later. Chance. Oh, I thought we had it this time. 4 minutes later. Oh, the highlight reel. Maximum Panic and all scores from Drury 2-1. Much later. Blake tried to make it 3, but no sir. No sir. 3 minutes later. No. Another 3. Freshman? Guess for them. Phew. Enforcer? We enforce it on them. 2 minutes later. Aggression? I'm an manager on those cupcakes. It's bait, so we can score any amount of goals in 5 minutes. Papa power play goal. J.P. Margon. Sorry, it's J.P. Dumont from McKee. Makes it 2-2. Power play Jets. Damn. Well, we scored 1. Damn it. Penalty on Newman. Damn it. And they score Kavasha from Satan and Sopel. The ex-Sabres are killing us. They're killing us, Lenny. And they did. The Islanders went 3-2. We were so close. The polling went off down 2-0. We almost did it, but we fucked it up. Of course, Newman gets a penalty at the worst possible time. We lose 3-2. Well, just like normal, if we lose a game, we have to simulate the next one until we win. Simulate till we win. So we are off. LA beat Phoenix. Montreal beats the Rangers. Detroit beats St. Louis in overtime. Is this a shootout? Doesn't look like a shootout. So we're hosting Booston. Lots of overtime goals, but not shootouts. I don't think they do shootouts. I don't know. But anyway, we have to simulate. And we lose 3-1 as Tim Thomas beats us. Samsonov, Fortin, and McCachran for Boston. Remember, Joe Fortin won't be in Boston for long. He got traded later on and got the Hart Trophy and the Art Rose Trophy, aka the MVP and scoring leader with the Sharks. Our only goal was Dumont, 2 goals in 2 games. So we lose. We're 0-2. We embarrassing. Hoskashi. We go to Ottawa. I think they just go for overtime or something. I don't know. I think they just ended in overtime. We beat Ottawa. We lost. We win 2-1. Connolly and Briere scoring for us. Schaefer. Buron beat Emery. So at least we won. Right? Right. So that's big. Maybe they just don't go for overtime. Our second game. Remember, it's 3 televised games, right? Yep. Yeah, I guess with 4-4, you can't really go shootout. We host Pittsburgh, and Marty Biron back in the net. He won against Jocelyn Thibault. Pittsburgh really sucked that year. Yeah, they had 22 wins, but Jocelyn Thibault, former goalie for the Habs, he's the guy that was traded from Colorado and Montreal for Patrick Roy. Of course, Patrick Roy ran himself out of town 3 decades ago. Well, it was Mario Tremblay's fucking fault, and I'll stand by that hill. Thibault was basically supposed to replace Roy, but he did nothing. He did lead them to the playoffs in '96, but unfortunately, they choked a 2-0 series lead, and he was never the same. Marc-Andre Fleury, the Flower, number 29, a number 1 draft pick by the Penguins. They drafted him first overall in 2003. And, he took a while to develop. Sebastian Caron, who made a fantastic save against the Flyers in one of the greatest saves of all time, and Danny Sabres. Pittsburgh has Sid the Kid, Mark Recchi, still around, former Penguin, part of the '91 Stanley Cup champs. John LeClaire as a Penguin. Ugh, Philly fans will barf. Brr. Ryan Malone, Colby Armstrong, troublemaker for Hockey Night Canada now. Michel Ouellette, Sergei Gonchar, can't say anything except he should be a Washington Capital for life. Toto Sarovi, Sticky Palvi, former Islander King and Kisser. Mario Lemieux, who had his final season as being with the Ricky Crosby. Andrew Hilbert, Ryan Whitney, good defenseman, Rick Jackman, Eric Christensen, Dick Tarnstrom, Maxime Talbot, who 3 years later would score 2 goals in Game 7 of the Stanley Cup Finals. Lasse Purja, Josef Melachar, Konstantin Koltsov, Brooks Orpik, a youngster, Matt Murley, Rob Scuderi, and Steve Popes. Basically, Pittsburgh had bad defense. 2 minutes later. Transfer us? No. 5 minutes later. Hit, and no surprise. 4 minutes. Hispanic. And they score. Johnny LeClaire from Colby makes it 1-0. 3 minutes later, a fight between Ryan Malone and Adam Mayer. It hurts Pittsburgh more because Malone is just Kitchener! Derek Roy from Kalinin and Adam Binning it off 1-1. And that will be that. After 20 minutes, we're up 1-1. 2 minutes later. Buffalo penalty on Pominville. But they killed the zone. Much later. Transfer them. Nails her. 2 minutes later. Jokin, what the heck? His first from Fanek and Connolly. 2 minutes later. Attack gets hit, but Pittsburgh gets penalized. Recchi of all people. Totally gets hit. Let me score! Chris Drury, am I right? From Roy and Redmond. It's not Waugh, it's Roy. Trust me. For a minute. No. Pominville. That probably would have replaced Thibault. 3 minutes later. No. Killing the clock. It's good! Danny Briere! He's panicking Campbell makes 4-1. They're marking it, boys. We're killing the clock. Totally could not score. Who cares? Hack scores the second of the night from Linden. 5-1. So Pittsburgh got it. Crosby has to learn to lose. Good thing he didn't score a point. So we're 2-2. Dallas is still undefeated. Not Montreal. They lose. Chara scoring late. They almost went to overtime. Philly is not undefeated. Toronto beat them. Montreal lost again in overtime. Second straight time they lost in overtime. I don't see Buffalo. Columbus can't win a game. Dallas finally loses. Florida is still undefeated. Detroit still 100% record 5-0. And there we go. Yep, they go to the shootout. Oh, they do the shootout. Okay, and the first shootout is Washington over the others. If my team does go to the shootout and loses, that is a double. It's a 2-game penalty, even if we win the first one. Buffalo goes to Tampa, third game on the TV schedule. Marty Biron ride the hot hand against Sean Burke, the 6'4" Giants. John Graham, the son of a former WJ icon Ron Graham, for Houston. Sean Burke, 6'4" giraffe. He was an anonymous 6'4" goalie playing NHL. He played for Canada in the Olympics in 1988, and then the Devils had him. And then he left the Devils to play for the 92 Olympic team, which didn't work out so well for Canada. But the fact is that Sean Burke did what he could. And then he got traded to Hartford. Many teams after that. Gerald Coleman, former London Knight, and Brian Eklund. Tampa has Vinny Lecavalier, number 4, retired in the Raptors, and Marcel, number 26. He's also retired. Freddie Modine for relief. Ruslan Fedotenko, just like Max Talbot, scoring 2 goals in Game 7, an unheralded move. Vinny Prospel. Brad Richards, who had a great 2004 season. This is, of course, Tampa's first full season after winning the Stanley Cup. They won 43 games in real life. Brad Richards, who was known as game-winning icon. Dan Boyle, great defenseman. Boyle. Ryan Craig, Dmitry Afanasekov, Tim Taylor, not from Home Improvement. Dave Anderchuk, still with the team. I thought he retired after 2004 winning the Cup as a captain. Pavel Kubita, good defenseman. Daryl Sador, former Dallas Star. Rob DeMaio, Artukin, Martin Seaback, Norm Miley, Paul Ranger. He never played for the Rangers. Corey Sarich, Nolan Pratt, Timo Helbig, Chris Dingman, Darren Reed, Nick Tarnsky. Here we go. 5 minutes into the game session. Let's buy it. And Freddie Levine's 5th in 5 years. He was dangerous. Much later. Just for us! No. 3 minutes later. Damn it. 4 minutes. Okay, Mrs. Palmerville can't hit the mark either. We're down 1-0. 5 minutes later. No. 2 minutes later. Ketskiers. Paul Godstad from Affinigov and Teppo. I don't think I talked about Godstad, did I? I guess I didn't. 5 minutes later. Ugh. 3 minutes later. Of course he would. But we killed the zone. After 40, it's tied at 1. 1 minute later. Your adage. 4 minutes. Much later. Skier! Catch it! Derek Roy, his second from Cuddle League, makes it 2-1. 4 minutes later. Skier! Chris Drury, am I right? His second from Cuddle League and Connolly. So 2-2 for those things. 3-1. We're up by 2. Timing, empty net, no. Mike Greer, oh yeah. He ain't Pam Greer, he's Mike Greer. From Affinigov and Roy, we crushed Tampa's hopes 4-1. We give up the first goal, but scored 3 in the third. We win. We're 3-2. I'll take anything I can get. Columbus still can't buy a win. Pittsburgh in the shootout over Philly. All right. Saturday night, we're in Florida to take on the seemingly unscathed Panthers. Detroit beats Phoenix. They're 6-0. Montreal still is undefeated. So right now we have 6 points. 3-2. We would make the playoffs. Yeah, so Montreal, Florida, and Detroit have yet to lose. Columbus has yet to win. So yeah, we're third in our division. Montreal and Ottawa looking good. Goal scoring, we're not there yet. Holstrom and Modine with 7. Buron, Martin Buron, number 1 in goals against, one with Emery and Old. Martin Buron, baby. Emery and Alex Auld looking good. Dominic Hasek. Oh yeah, I forgot he was with Ottawa. A goalie like Ryan Miller, 0-2 with a 308. Rick DiPietro's won a game, 3.2. Well, it doesn't matter. Anything could happen in the NHL, and probably does. Anyway, Jeff, I'm going to do.